If you've ever wondered about what condo fees are, where do they come from, and what do they include, we're talking about that right now. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Muoki here. I'm a realtor in Leesburg, Virginia, here to give it to you real, raw, and always abiding by fair housing law. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome. So glad to have you. You've been here before. Get your popcorn ready. We're going to get started in a second. Want to remind you, your phone is your friend, so go ahead and you got my phone number, my email here and in the description below. Also, don't forget to grab your free Homebuyer Pro Kit in the description below as well. If you want to subscribe, join the team, well, you can more welcome to do so. We always enjoy new members into the team. Let's get into condo fees. So as we start talking about condo fees, we got to talk about condos themselves. Now, condominium is traditionally viewed as an apartment style building, individual units, sellable units inside an apartment style building, high rise, sometimes like 10, 12, 15, 17 floors, maybe garden style, so maybe just 1 or 2 or 3 levels. But nowadays you can have townhouse style condos, you can have individual semi-detached or detached units that also are a part of a condo association, and so they would be subject to condo fees as well. And a lot goes into what makes up a condo association in terms of who's included, who's not included, what's allowed, what's not allowed, what is permitted, what is not permitted. And all this information you find in your condo disclosure packet. When you go on a contract, you usually get these within. Sometimes you get them in the beginning, in the middle, but whenever you get them, this is the pro tip. You have 3 days to review them, 3 calendar days to review those documents. Usually between 100 and 500 pages sometimes. Take the time to review them, because this is where you'll find out the budget, the financial history. You'll find out who's on the board, what some of the restrictions and covenants are, because in a condo, you don't have the same kind of flexibility as you would in one of the other ownership styles. It's called fee simple. So in a fee simple ownership, you own the building, the interior, and the land in which the building is placed on. But in a condo, you own what is inside the unit, and the exterior is what is classified as shared ownership. So all the owners in that association share the space outside, the exterior space outside of your own unit. And so you want to read these documents, because this is where you're going to learn what is considered shared space, how is the maintenance and upkeep distributed, and what are those fees. And speaking of fees and future and finances, go ahead and check out this video that talks about the cost of living in Northern Virginia in Loudoun County. If you're interested in moving to this area, this will give you a good overview of what you can expect. The cost of living in Northern Virginia is significantly higher than most other places in the country, so that this is something that you want to wrap your head around early on before getting kind of shell-shocked when you get here. Now, a knee-jerk reaction to condo fees is that, it's just another fee. It's another random expense that I have to come up with on top of all the other money I'm trying to come up with to buy a home. But these fees are important, because this is where as mentioned, the upkeep, the maintenance of the improvement of your community is included, as well as your utilities. So your sewer, your water, your trash pickup, all of these, and sometimes even cable and internet. Now, when you read that packet, you want to check out what is included in terms of utilities, because let's talk 2021, right? Everybody is on some kind of streaming service, right? Fewer people now use cable. But if that's a service that's provided, then that fee is included in the condo fees. You just want to make sure that you know exactly what you're paying for, and that's what's cool, is that you get to see what exactly you're paying for. So your utilities are also included in these fees. If you were owning fee simple, Think about it. You would be paying for these anyway. You just be doing it in a different way. You get a bunch of bills over and over and over again that you pay, but here you just get one bill, and all those fees, utilities, and expenses are wrapped up into that. Now, one other thing about condo fees is that the fees don't stay the same all the time. They can increase. Sometimes, if it's a multi-level building, sometimes it's on a schedule, so they increase annually by a certain percentage. Sometimes they increase when they are scheduling for what's called capital improvements. Let's say you own a townhouse in a condo association. The roof of your property is maintained by the association. So let's say the roof is getting old, the shingles are starting to degrade. The association would schedule for the roofs to be repaired and replaced if necessary. Those capital improvements would increase your condo fee, whether it's monthly, quarterly, however it's paid, usually monthly. It will increase that amount in order to fund the improvement. It could be seen, well, you could say, oh my gosh, you're telling me I have to pay for all, like my expenses are going to increase and so on and so forth. But think about it. If a major expense like a roof is probably going to cost you around $20,000 to $30,000, which would you prefer to do? To pay the $20,000 or $30,000, or to have a slight increase in a monthly fee that's wrapped up, and not only will the roof, but all the other inconveniences will also be taken care of by the association. And so it's a bit of a trade-off that you would have to just budget and adjust to. One tip that I would give to a prospective buyer or a client is to think about your pre-approval amount, or when you're thinking about finding a lender to work with, ask for pre-approvals amount with condo fees and without condo fees. That additional monthly fee will increase your debt to income ratio in terms of the amount of a monthly payment. So you want to make sure that, let's say you put an offer into a $500,000 house, that if you're pre-approved for $500,000 out and it's not a condo, you want to make sure that you're still pre-approved for that same amount, because the last thing you want to do is find a home that you really want and really love and discover that you actually can't afford it. So you want to make sure that you know exactly what your numbers are and just work out your monthly payment. As one of my clients recently said in a conversation we had, the monthly payment determines everything. I want to make sure that I make my monthly payment all the time. So make sure you know what that is, know what your range is, and then you can sort out where exactly you want to look for these homes in. And the reality is that different associations have obviously different fees. They have different schedules. They have different budgets, and they also have different financial histories. What you want to do is you want to double check and triple check and quadruple check how does the association manage its fees, and how does it manage its budget over the course of time. One of the ways you can do this is just reading the disclosure packet when you get it under contract. Another thing you can do is reach out to a board member. If you reach out to the association and it's hard to get a hold of anybody, well, that's something to keep in mind. But you want to do your due diligence when it comes to finding out, who do I talk to, what can they tell me, and what information can I gather? Because that will inform your decision now and in the future. And so see how when we talk about condo fees, it's not just the fee itself, but there's a lot that's included in that monetary value. The monetary value is what we would call a quantitative measure, meaning it's a number. You can quantify it, you can label it. 100 is 100, 200 is 200, 400 is 400. But also included are these qualitative outcomes. What that means is that, remember the example of the roof. If you don't have to pay to have your roof replaced, that gives you a peace of mind, removes a bunch of stress, gives you more time to do other things with your family, with your hobbies or whatever you want, your job, professional development, and there's really no monetary value for that. How would you quantify peace of mind? How would you quantify being able to pursue your interests? How do you quantify having more time to do the things that you love? And so that's why when you think about condo fees, even though it's an additional expense when you think about a monthly payment, it also is a question about lifestyle. When you don't have to worry about maintenance, upkeep, major expenses as it regards the upkeep of your home, what new freedoms and opportunities and possibilities does this provide for you, right? And so you are the only one that can answer that question. And I hope this has been helpful to you guys. Go ahead and grab your free Homebuyer Pro Kit in the description before you get up out of here. Like and comment on this video if it was helpful to you. If I missed something, go ahead and let me know. If there's something that resonates with you, go ahead and let me know as well. Subscribe and join the team if this is a place you want to keep hanging. We would more than welcome you as a new member to the team. I'm Muoki Musau. Pleasure hanging with you guys as it always is. And from me to you, until next time, take care.